And today's Geek News is brought to you by The Extraordinary Journey of Black Nerds. Geek responsibly.
What's good on the web? This is your boy Q back again with some of that geek news. And, well, with Disney and Fox, the merger finally, together? Well, now the question is, how will everything play and work together? So that's where I'm going to try to fix a few things, or at least in my opinion, where I can see them including some stuff, whether it's from the Secret Wars, whether it's the Skrulls, Miss Marvel. How will Disney / the MCU fix and rectify all the BS that Fox has done for the last, 20 years, which there was some good, there was some bad, but there was mostly ugly. Let's just... The Phoenix? Let's just leave that alone. So here is a few of the 5 things that I think, reasons or ways that how Marvel can tie in Fantastic Four as well as the X-Men into this whole Phase 4 and into this whole new Marvel MCU introduction. Some of the things are, far-fetched, but other ones, you know what? They might just creep up on you. You never know. It could happen. It could happen. The thing that really can take place, which is probably the most logical one, is that nothing changes. The Marvel MCU stays exactly the same, and what I mean is exactly the same as it follows its same particular format. And into the introduction into the X-Men, where they get their own standalone movie, which probably won't be into 2022 with all of the contracts and all the international business and X, Y, and Z that goes down, we might just have to wait to get even a cameo from any X-Men character or any Fantastic Four character, which that kind of sucks. But then again, the way time has been going, and if you're an adult when you're watching this, the older you get, the faster time moves. So it's not going to be that long until the whole introduction of everything is, introduced. The only bad thing about that is with Phase 3 ending and Phase 4 starting with Spider-Man and Black Panther being the main ones they're going to be the featured in the stars of, where and when exactly, how are we going to get the X-Men and the Fantastic Four? I guess with that option, we would just have to wait. This one right here is just all completely speculation in my part. It could be something as simple as right around the time that Reed Richards and Sue and Johnny and Ben Grimm were in the spaceship and they were about to be bombarded with the, the radioactivity or the radiation. Now, it's so many Asians and gamma rays, and you get the point. Where the origin story of the Fantastic Four, it could have been something as simple as that's exactly the time when Thanos decided to snap his fingers into the stab. You could do it all by yourself. Once he snapped his fingers, half of the Fantastic Four, what would have become the Fantastic Four, is only 2. And let's just say, hypothetically, that one of the ones that survived was going to be like Reed Richards, which is the smartest man in Marvel. Probably only person that could really rival it would be Dr. Doom. And you could even make it where he's going around trying to look up and find out some kind of way to, bring his woman back and her brother and or Ben Grimm back. And that could be a way to just have a cameo or to have him introduced into the series. And since the Infinity War 2 isn't coming out until next year, by that time, I'm pretty sure that the Fox and Disney whole merger will completely be complete, even internationally. And that's just one of the ways that I can see him being introduced. And another way where we won't even have to go through a full, origin story again. Because, so with this merger, let's skip it, because we all know the origin of mutants, and we all know the origin of Fantastic Four. So by pushing Reed Richards right into the forefront of going out to seek who Thanos is and using his newfound powers to do so, I can see that that'd be a nice little road to eventually have them have their own movie, which could be taking place in 2021 or 2022. I mean, Fantastic Four is the first family of Marvel, and it's sad to see them not in Infinity War, because usually everything, goes through them first, especially when it has to do anything with Celestials, Galactus, or any, real big extraterrestrial stuff like this. And, well, what other huge extraterrestrial thing can you get other than Infinity War? This is what's hot right now. Another way that Marvel, the MCU, Disney, Fox, well, let's just call it Marvel because it's all under one umbrella again, finally. Another way that Marvel can introduce all of the characters at once is something that's really popped up a lot, and that is the whole Marvel Secret Wars. And instead of using the Beyonder as someone who basically wants to have the most powerful people fight against each other and like an arena-based situation, have them all do that for Thanos, where they're all brought together, or there's some kind of, mystical stuff. Well, look, we're dealing with the stones from the Infinity Gauntlet, whether it could be time or reality that'll warp them to one destination. We can have something in that manner where Thanos is now this main catalyst, which he is, to bring all of the other heroes from other portions of different dimensions and universes together to fight against him, because this threat with the Infinity Gauntlet, well, is ripping the fabric of time and space and in reality, which he's kind of like he's doing anyway. Another one of my favorite scenarios, and I'm just kind of like thinking about what I would do and or looking up different information of things that was presented to us thus far, is we can get a cameo maybe from a Hugh Jackman, or even a recasting of someone that could play Wolverine, or we could even get a McAvoy who was Xavier. We can get, I know he's expensive now, but maybe even some kind of cameo or capture of that during the end of an Infinity Wars 1, where he was looking for mutants, or he was looking for other people, or he was talking to Jean Grey and Cyclops, and or he had just started this whole new X-Men Academy, but in modern day, and scratch that 60s stuff and stuff. Let's just start it like Spider-Man, and let's just start it like the Avengers. Let's just start it from present day, and just forget that whole Fox era of 20 years ever existed. I'm sorry, Hugh Jackman. R.I.P., brother. You grew on me. You was a good Wolverine, but this is a new time, my friend. This is a new time. That could even be a way for them to bring up why Xavier and the X-Men are aligning themselves with the Avengers, and or it could even give just brief cameos to like Xavier. And the reason why I said Xavier, because he's one of the best psychics, if not the most powerful psychic within the world, will be able to contact other heroes and be able to talk to them telepathically, in order to, find out what happened to his group. And then we can skip an origin story, just like I had mentioned with the Fantastic Four, because say if Xavier and his class already got destroyed, then we already know that they were pre-established, and we don't have to go into that. And then we can even have Angel, Beast, Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Iceman, and then when they do get their own movie, we can even jump into where Wolverine and Storm and Thunderbolt and Banshee and all of those characters came up from the ones that were supposed to be from the 70s, which kind of diversified the whole mutant ranks. So that's another possibility, how they can introduce them together. And last but not least, which is one of the most interesting rumors out there, or just concepts, is doing a whole parallel universe, where I have been hearing that it's a possibility that Thanos can use his reality stone basically to warp reality in order to make parallel dimensions, and that would automatically open up the possibility to have a parallel for a dimensional X-Men and a dimensional Fantastic Four, because something could have happened in that dimension where they didn't exist, or mutants didn't exist, and now that the dimensions are on top of each other, the universe is flipped and is on top of each other, all of that stuff can come in once. But just as confusing as that sounds, and I'm a person that's into comics, fantasy, and sci-fi, let's just think about the average person that's just consuming and digesting this. That might not, bode well with them and can become too convoluted and too confusing, which some of the things that MCU has already been doing has had that kind of stigma where it's too much, where we don't really know what's going on, especially with the whole garbage that happened with Fox when it came to the Deadpool and him being introduced at first in the Logan movie and the Wolverine origin stories. Let's, by all things that's saintly and good in the world, let's just clip the umbilical cord of everything that had to do with Fox. And to do a extra added little bonus here, which a lot of people have been talking about, is the Skrulls and how the Skrulls can actually be introduced into this series, because the rumor is that the Skrulls are going to probably be one of the main villains, if not the main villain, that's going to be on the Ms. Marvel movie, which takes its place in the early, is it in the 90s, I think that it takes place, which will give a 20-year gap for her to be able to be in the new movie, which is Infinity Wars, which is going to be present day, which is said that she's supposed to be the one to take out Thanos. So it's like really a coin flip. Either it's going to be her or it's going to be Adam Warlock, which we didn't really see too much of in the Infinity War, but more so in Guardians of the Galaxy. And we don't even know what Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be now that the director ain't on Guardians of the Galaxy. So there's just a whole bunch of everything going everywhere. So, I mean, the Skrulls could play a huge, significant part inside of this, because what if one of the Skrulls was not, what a lot of people are thinking, is Pepper, who has been around for forever with Tony and sucked up so much information, or it could be which a lot of other people think that is Nick Fury as well. It might not be either one of those, and I doubt it's going to be Chris Evans, but it could be as simple as it being one of these characters that could have been in the 90s that are introduced as Reed Richards, but was a Skrull and was locked up in some other dimension, or was a mutant, or it could be the Skrulls basically take on some kind of role of the Celestials kind of stuff, and they were tinkering with the humans' evolution, and that's what in turn created the mutants, or put them in, do you see my hands moving? That's kind of like me thinking. It could be something as simple as that, as the Skrulls are tinkering with human evolution, and that's in the 90s, 80s, and they have been doing so for years, and that's what in turn creates the mutants, and that's why we didn't see any mutants that big until, Civil War, and then until, later on into after Infinity War. So that could be another possibility of how they do things. I'm really not sure. I mean, now Marvel has a complete clean slate to do almost anything they want to do with it. I'm very excited as a fan just to see exactly where this goes. I know a lot of this stuff is not canon to comics or into the MCU. They're just my own theories about what and how these things can be tied up together. I guess now the only thing I have to ask is, what do you think? Do you think, or do you agree with any of the methods or the ways or reasons how to connect the dots that I said? If you do or if you don't, and if you have an option or opinion, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, interweb, this has been your man Q, your friendly neighborhood geek. If you did like this video, please, my friends, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I think it's on that side. Hit that bell icon to stay up to date on all things geek. And I'll holler at y'all later. My throat hurt a little bit. I got a little excited and it's hot. Like, ooh.